right, guys, here we are to talk about episode 27 of season 1 of The Twilight Zone as it appears on Netflix.
I had this impulse to be like, it's a zoo, Stefan, it's people, it's time enough at last, for some reason.
But it's not.
No, this is, I did not, remember this one.
Oh,
this
I
is
did.
Not, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one really stuck with me. I remembered, like, exactly the ending.
Oh.
So I was not into it the same way I would normally be. You know, I think this is like a big episode though for the Twilight Zone. I think this is the first episode Twilight Zone did with like, you know, a non-white main character.
Really?
Yeah, but believe so. Can you think of one that wasn't?
I am so colorblind that I didn't even think about that. I realized that.
I was so past this episode that I had to look for something good to talk about.
Oh, I had nothing to fucking say, so I had to reach and pull for other things. So what do you mean?
Well, because of how short the Twilight Zone episodes are. If you remember the episode, you like there's not much to be like, maybe I missed some other subtle nuances. You're like, no, I've seen the fucking episode. It's so short.
You're burying the lead, though. You, like, remembered it. Is this one that you hate or that you like? Like, how do you feel about the episode?
The only thing I hate about it was how aggressive this man is towards a child who only wanted the best for him. So the child in this...
like afterwards when they're talking?
Yeah.
And he's like, there's no such thing as dreams.
It's kind of like when a kid, if you're having a bad day and a kid's like, I'll just ask Santa to make your day better, and you're like, there's no fucking Santa, Timmy.
Like, fuck you,
fuck
don't do this.
Yeah, so this kid's wishing for him to win. He's like, you know, and this seems to be, I don't know if he's dating his mother or if he's just a nice guy that lives in the block.
I literally,
but he takes him out.
I literally wrote down, that's not his kid? Or something
No,
like that.
It's not his kid.
No, but I wrote that down when they, like, reveal that. Because in the beginning, I'm thinking that's his kid because of the way they're talking and hanging out and all that shit. And then he's like, you're my best friend. And I'm like, wait. And then he goes downstairs, yeah, your boys, whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? It's not his kid?
Yeah.
You're just hanging out with random kids upstairs? This is gross.
Yeah, you know,
it was a different time.
He's being that father figure. No, you see that sometimes.
Sure.
But I just thought the way he tried to like crush this boy's spirit, who legitimately has powers that could have made his life better. It did for a brief moment.
There's two directions to go into here, because on the one hand, that kid is an Omega level mutant. He can literally fracture reality and change the space-time continuum, which is fucking amazing. And it's tragic that he was like, you know, quit it with that shit. And he was like, you're right, I'm going to quit it with that shit. Which is like heartbreaking or whatever, right?
But also, like, if this were you, if you were this dude, you're boxing, you know you just lost, and all of a sudden you won. Like, you know some weird shit happened.
Yeah.
You know earlier, because the kid said out loud, I'm going to wish for it. You know that some wish should happen, and then he referenced it, well, I wished for it. And you're like, nah. And he goes, if you don't believe it won't happen. You go, it didn't happen. You like fight as hard as you can to not believe it seems.
I know, yeah.
And then what happens? You're back with a broken hand on the ground. Like,
it undoes it, I know. Yeah. So when the kid said, you know, well, that's the exact moment when I did my wish, then, you know, he should have clicked into like, oh shit, it really happened. Oh, Jimmy, Billy, whatever his name is, Frederick, you're the fucking, I don't know what his name is.
And I wouldn't,
Peter.
Would you care at all? I would totally embrace it. I'd be like, thank you, boy. Even if it was totally fake.
Yeah.
Like, you did win. A boy did wish for it. He's your friend. You do care about him. So why not just say, thank you so much, little Billy, for making me win?
Is that his name, Billy?
I don't know. I made it up.
Fuck. It would be like, even if it's a coincidence, even if some other supernatural force or maybe like pervasive brain injuries made me think this, you would still want to be nice to the kid, right? And be like...
The kid who's your only fan, it seems.
Yeah, dude. I know.
And just, I don't know, that really irked me about it, where I'm like, I feel like people would play along with things anyway. Like if you're like jacking up the car and the little kid's like, I helped, you're like, thank you.
You did help.
Yeah.
You're the strongest boy.
Like that kind of shit, like something, you know, humor him a little bit.
Okay.
To take the wind out of the sails of a child, I just thought was inexcusable.
They did that on purpose, obviously.
Of course.
That was the whole point of this thing. Because I actually really liked the, I forget his name too, Boley?
Boley.
It's not a name.
That was his name? Boley Jackson, I think?
No, that's his name, but that's not a name. What the fuck is that name?
I've heard that name.
Bartholomew? What is that? So I really liked the concrete speech when it's like, when do boys lose it? You know, like when do they finally give it up? When does the world grab their face and shove it down and say it's concrete? The world's made of concrete, boy. And all that stuff. So he's got this whole baggage and chip on his shoulder that's preventing him from like admitting or like believing in anything. And he kind of like, you know, he sees the kid being like, I make wishes and I'm happy and you're my friend. It's gonna be okay. And he's like, fuck you. Like, that's his like response. Because he's had this like shitty life or this hard life of boxing or whatever, right? Yeah.
I think his speech about the not needing a scrapbook was the best.
The opening thing.
Yeah, that
where he's
I thought
like,
was
it's
really
written
good.
all over my face.
Yeah, this cut, Saigon, 1943, or whatever he says.
Hooker, come.
Yeah,
Hooker bit off my nose. It's like, I know.
I mean, he had some great monologues.
Yeah, he was good, and I think like that's what I'm what I'm getting at is like it was supposed to irk you, and it was supposed to feel like bad because you were supposed to be like, oh, I shouldn't be like that guy. I shouldn't let the world shove me down so much that I can't let like a little bit of hope and like belief of something else in or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah,
it's that sort of thing.
You just wanted like the woman to come in and go,
like,
you know what, Bowley? You an asshole.
He's crying. What'd you do? He's like, fuck, I don't know. I just told him how life was, and she's like, you what? You can't do that. He's a kid.
Just think of the cool shit you could have done, though, like knowing that this kid has the power of wishes.
Yeah.
All right, now wish that me and your mom had $1 billion and become the president of the world.
Wish really hard.
Oh, Bowley, I wish.
I'm the emperor of the solar system.
Something.
Yeah, no, it's fucking and like it really bothered me too when like the kid is like, you're right, I'm too old for that shit, I'm just gonna forget about it or whatever, because he really did have like the power, and it's that little kindling of that thing of all these things that we watch with like superheroes. Like when you were a kid, were you like waiting for your mutant powers to finally emerge?
I'm still waiting.
It's supposed to happen with puberty though. We're like well past that.
But what if we're from another planet and our puberty's different?
Okay, we could always go with that. I agree. So like that's that little bit of thing of like, well, maybe I did make that happen, or maybe this is a thing, or maybe this could happen, or whatever, right? And we just watched this journey of this kid that really does have powers, who then got like convinced, right? It was like the shitty life of like Bowley carried over and spilled over into this kid's life and made it shittier, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's like bothers you, right?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, if you don't know you can't do something, you can sometimes. And
what
if that's all everything is? Like, the power of belief can do anything. And just like, but we're beaten so badly into not believing that once you don't believe, you can't do it. Well, and that honestly, like, it feels like that kind of can make sense.
It like resonates. It's that like John dies at the end, like what is possible in like reality weird shit thing, right? Because he literally says like that's not how it works. If you don't believe, what he phrases it really good. I wrote it down.
It's not gonna work if you don't believe.
Did I not write it down?
Something along those lines.
I thought it was great. No, but it was so good.
And the way that kid's like crying when he says it, almost like I'm like,
no,
damn it, Bowley, you son of a bitch.
He was really good too. I may not have written it down. I was falling asleep here when I was writing my notes. But I thought it was a great line, however he fucking phrased it, because, he is crying, he's very, like, emotional, he's like, no, because he can feel it, like, slipping away.
Yeah.
He's like, tightening his grip on the bar of soap of this, like, wish, and he can feel it about to, like, slip, and he's like, no, if you don't believe it, it won't be true, but he said it in this way that had like, a weird word in there that I was like, ooh, yeah. But,
yeah, it was nice.
Because he's probably witnessed other wishes get like undone or something in his like childhood, because he has this crazy power.
It's cool that he can remember both ways too.
Yeah.
I wonder how many things he's altered, because he might have changed the whole world.
He could literally have changed the course of history, but now he's just going to be like, yeah, when I was a kid, I used to make wishes or something. I don't know, it's dumb, and like work a normal job, do like a normal thing, because now he doesn't believe in that, and that undoes his ability to do it. I think, right? That's how the whole thing is structured. That's like heartbreaking.
I wonder though, like, what the extent of this is. So like, Bowley is the only one directly affected by this, who has to like believe or not believe. But like the boxer who lost, like. Yeah. He's also affected. Everyone that watched it is also affected. It's weird that only Bowley seems to be like in on the loop of what really happened.
Right, and you would think that other things, right, like the woman who sent the $15 to his mother, probably remembers something else though, or it's still that, or she thought it was this and then it changed.
I would have liked it to cut to that other boxer and like after them like, I know you did something. You did something.
I had you. I know I had you. No one believes me. And all that stuff. Yeah, right. Cause,
I know I knocked you down.
Because if it's a little like bubble that like changes reality, the other boxer switched with him, so they have to both be in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, if we, like the feature-length movie version of this, should have that, where like that guy, like this was his chance, and now his like career is fucked, and he's drinking, and he like corners Bowley, and he's like, listen, I know something happened. What'd you do? How'd you do it, Bowley? How'd you do it? And they like fight and stuff. Oh, it'd be great.
It's such a weird way of doing it too, where it just blinks and they've switched spots.
Yeah.
Because that would mean everything that led up to that like didn't happen. And
yeah,
that's
like,
interesting.
Did he still talk to the manager like that? Because, like, no,
Did he still hit the wall and it just didn't hurt him? Like,
yeah, because his like stand-in for Mick and like Rocky somehow, which is weird. Then is that just like a trope that has always existed or something?
I guess.
Because that's so weird. They had a guy literally like, it's over, Rock, type like, like helper dude or whatever they call that.
Italian boy.
Yeah, fucking, he literally is like, what are you talking about? Like everything up until the whole thing, that whole bit.
Yeah, so
it
I don't
seems
know.
like maybe didn't happen. So then how far back would it go? Could the wish alter like your training regimen?
He actually did more push-ups and stuff.
Yeah, like everything's different. People don't like remember. This could be a whole huge fucking alternate reality thing.
Or like the guy who he paid to help him actually did give him advice about the fight in the beginning. Like, yeah, it's weird.
We didn't mention that, but that shit was fucking great too. Where the guy's like a smarmy prick.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't never seen him fight, and you're like, and he's like, what? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's awesome.
That punch part was weird too, where I'm like, what was he trying to do? Because he hit that wall so squarely, and like the way the shot carried it.
Yeah.
The boxing punches shots was interesting too, like
the cuts
for the time, yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering how they were gonna do that, and like when it first comes in, it's just like people clutching stuff and like hands and weird like side stuff. I'm like, okay, they're not gonna show it until like the knockout or whatever. But then they like put some shots in where it was weird, quick cuts that are very unusual for that time. Right?
Exactly. That's why
I dig that.
It stood out. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good episode. Had I not remembered I think I would have enjoyed it more.
I was going to say I'm kind of flat on this, but having now discussed it, I feel like I love this episode.
I like it's the premise that's so interesting for me, and that's usually what I think the Twilight Zone gets me doing. It gets me thinking, and gets me like, oh, that's a cool scenario, a nice idea, because you have to be a little forgiving on the execution just because of the time period.
Yeah.
But I like this episode. And I'd like to be able to go into it and like hit the erase button and not remember things.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's what.
Because things that are twist based or weird or this and that, like it really doesn't lend itself to that rewatch as much.
Well, I gotta tell you, and having no memory of it whatsoever for whatever reason, when they switch, I was like, what?
But that's what I want. I would like that.
Just because, like, I knew obviously something happens, but then I'm like, wait, because, like, he counted to 9. I'm like, there's not much time for him to get up after the switch. And, and then, like, time stops. And I'm like, is time going to rewind? Like, what's going to happen? But to have to have both of their, like, to have their, like, threads of fate, like, cross or something crazy, that's, like, I did not expect that at all. So I was like, holy shit.
So, like, what I think if I were to change this, how it would happen would be that the wish would have already started when it started. Like, when he got into the match, the wish had already happened. And he goes to punch that smarmy prick, hits the brick wall, and goes, huh, I'm fine.
Weird.
And then, like, just like, he can't feel pain.
I should have busted your knuckles. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. It's
I think
something.
Maybe a twist would be, well, actually, he said you wouldn't get hurt. So it wasn't that you won't. No, maybe that would work. I would love a thing where, like, and, like, the bell rings, he won, and then he, like, falls down dead. Like, because he was getting hit all the time, but just not feeling it. Sure. And then it all kicks in after the match. I think that would have been an interesting twist, too.
Yeah, and that's a different story where, like the wish is for, like, you're going to have your moment of glory and you're going to be okay, you're not going to get hurt. Not that, like, that's going to be tomorrow's going to be whatever. Yeah. No, there's so many. That's the thing with these. There's so many it like whets the appetite. There's so many ways to go and like explore with these ideas. I really like the Twilight Zone. I think they had all these ideas and they were like, every week we're gonna fucking knock one out and do our best, present you this fucking.
This
concept.
was like a good like wish, like where it's like a normal like I'm just wishing. There were no like weird caveats aside from not like you have to believe like a Peter Pan style thing. I'm used to like the monkey paw wish where like it's like no, you didn't wish the proper way. Now you're effed.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were getting at when you were like, this is a
good
wish.
That's what I was...
It's a good, like, mechanism for him to... He just has to go, like, oh, fuck, come on, and, like, have it happen.
So if it had to be a bad wish, I would have gone with the, like, no, he doesn't feel pain until it's over, and then just drops.
Well, because those are cool where it's, like, the like, trick wish or whatever, where you're like, I wish for this and this exactly, and then the, like, genie or, like, the universal forces are like, okay, you're going to get that fucking exactly, and we're going to fuck you in these other ways as a result, which is always a good, like, parable type thing. No, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, guys, so that was this episode of Twilight Zone. Let us know in the comments below what you think about it, and we'll see you next time. Don't die in a fire.